Welcome to the Shan Discussions. Tonight is February 19th, 2012. It's 11:01 p.m. and yes, I'm supposed to be asleep. I wanted to talk about several different topics. I wanted to talk about our reps being spoiled children, Mr. Rick Santorum, and the fact that those of us who profess to believe in God Almighty, it's time to stop being followers and start being believers. It seems like people have no belief whatsoever in God Almighty. I think I'll start with that topic. I want to start with the hypocrisy of many of these religious factions today. And one of the reasons why I'm so glad, I'm so proud that I have faith in God. And I'm proud to say I'm not a Christian, a Jew, or Muslim, or any of these other psychos on this planet. These are some crazy people. All these years, these people have been waiting for an opportunity to do outstanding and righteous deeds to please a God that they profess to believe in. And here comes an opportunity for them to please the God that they profess to believe in. The National Defense Authorization Act is a crime against humanity. It says, take away the rights of individuals to be represented. Lock them away and keep them there until they fall into the condition you choose. This is so simple. It's like, okay, that's wrong. If you truly have evidence to prove a person wrong, provide the evidence. Lock them up. If you don't have the evidence, then what you're saying may not be correct. If it's so true, then hey. Or maybe you don't have the full evidence, but you have a partial evidence. Then present the partial evidence, and that may be justification to at least detain the person until further evidence can be gathered. Now, here are the many problems I see with that. Imagine our government officials, our representative, these employees of ours that have become the spoiled children. They're spoiled with power. To name a few of the destructive factors in this thing is the idea that the United States government can arrest someone and tell them, we're not going to give you the right to contact anyone to let them know you're being detained. That's one crime already under the National Defense Authorization Act. The second crime is that you're not telling the families that you're taking these people away under the National Defense Authorization Act. After all, if they don't already know, then under the National Defense Authorization Act, they don't need to know. So if they don't already know their relatives were taken by the government could allow them to assume their relatives were kidnapped. Less paperwork, no hassles. How many different ways is this a crime? And you have people saying, hey, I'm a Christian. This against them. It's not against us. What about the part, do unto others as you would have others do unto you? Every person who professes faith in God, every faction that professes faith in God has to face a dilemma. You listen to all the things that your religious belief teaches, and then it comes that thing that your religious belief teaches you that you know is wrong, and you have to ask yourself, what's more important, my service or my reverence to the source of all life? And I should do the things that are proper and productive and refrain from doing the things that are unproductive and are improper. So here you are now as a Muslim, and you have to ask yourself, slavery. If I say slavery is an abomination and a crime against humanity, and it should never have been allowed, then I'm saying that God Almighty allowed an atrocity to become law for Christian, Jews, Muslims, and other people in their religious teachings. Wow. Am I saying God allowed this atrocity? And if you're saying, well, slavery is an abomination, it's an actual crime, Maybe, this is not something that God would allow. Maybe somebody's telling me a damn lie in the name of God. This is a horrible thing. Imagine the idea of taking a human soul and compelling them to do something against their will because they simply do not believe as I believe, and God authorized this. The same God that made all beings. This doesn't sound right. This is wrong. Now, if you choose not to believe either one of these things, there's a third option. Just suppose it's a test from God, where God is saying, I'm going to find out if you're truly in this for the sake that you want to give reverence to God Almighty, or you're just in this for the rewards. So now, here you are. I have to think about slavery. Now, if I believe that I'm a Muslim, I can't say slavery is wrong, because that will make me a non-Muslim. And if I say slavery is right, I mean it's slavery, it's wrong. That'll make me an oppressor. So I must come to terms that, you know what? This must be a trial. I have to come to terms with the fact that this is a trial from God. And God is saying to me, given reverence to God Almighty, given your thanks for the blessings and the grace of God Almighty, has nothing to do with conforming to a particular mode of thought. But it has a lot more to do with the liberty of understanding right from wrong, doing what is right and forbidding what is wrong, regardless of what's written in any book. Just imagine if I die and I go before God and God asks me, why did you do the wrong? Am I going to tell God, well, God, it was in the book? Now comes the question of Rick Santorum. Who is this guy? Rick Santorum is the acceptable replacement for Mitt Romney. Who is the acceptable replacement for Barack Obama? Who is a deceiver? So let me fast forward. Obama, the deceiver, can be replaced by a two-faced deceiver that everyone knows is a deceiver, Mitt Romney. But since everyone is getting hip to the fact that he's a two-faced liar and a hypocrite before he even gets in the White House, now the option is, let's put Rick Santorum in. If you won't vote for Barack Obama, don't vote for Mitt Romney. And if you won't vote for Mitt Romney, don't vote for Rick Santorum. Because these are all the same line of deceivers. These are the people that are being thrown in front of you. You have a simple choice. The choice is not hard at all. Liberty says you are responsible for right and wrong. Constitution says you have the right to representation under the law. Ron Paul says, I am the champion of the Constitution. How else do you want it? How much simpler can you get it? Get it?